What a season it's been for the Detroit Lions. And while it has been 1 week and a day since our loss to the San Francisco 49ers, I'm just now getting to a point where I can now see media posts and things like that on YouTube and beyond. I still have not watched a single bit of media outside of anything Detroit Lions for the last week, and I will not watch anything until the Super Bowl is over. For the first time ever, I probably won't even watch the Super Bowl. I am leaning 90% to not watching it and 10% actually watching it. But with that being said, it's been a great year. It really has. And when it's all said and done, only one team gets to hold the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the year. And while I really believe that if the Lions would have made the Super Bowl, I think we would have beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it would have been great because it would have been them at full strength. It would have been us at full strength. We could have ended the season like we started. And we win the Super Bowl, beating the 49ers and playing a healthy Chiefs team. And that would have really been the bar when it comes to the Detroit Lions. But we have to push on to next year. And I am not a season ticket holder. The plan is actually to become one for the first time ever. I looked into the waiting list. To get on the waiting list, which was at 7,000 people a few weeks ago, you have to put $200 now per ticket. And I don't have that right now, but I plan to get 2 tickets. My son actually said he wants to go to a actual game because he's not into football, so we go to a preseason game, but he wants to go to an actual game. So that I said, well, Derrick, this was right around the time you started watching football and got into the Lions. This might be his time as well, although I will never push anything like that upon him. So I do plan to become a season ticket holder. And initially I thought, one of the perks would be to have special things that I could bring you guys from inside, not necessarily inside the organization, but just from a little deeper than a fan, but a little more than, but not as much as like a credentialed media person. You get special loyalty events. Listen, the playoff tickets alone were reason enough to become a season ticket holder. The difference between a non-playoff season ticket holder and a season ticket holder price difference was insane. That right is enough. I don't care if you're sitting in, 333, you all the way at the top. Anywhere you can get in compared to what those prices were online are just enough. That's reason enough. But Sheila Hamp had an open letter to fans, which I openly mocked 3 years ago when we fired Matt Patricia. Actually, it was before that. It was going into the 2020 season. And she said that she wanted her expectations were for us to be in contention. And I didn't believe a word she said. This was hard SOL back then, just was sick of hearing it. And she came in and she has earned my respect. And I remember when she fired Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, that was the first sign to me that she was serious because we had already fired Jim Caldwell. And all of that stuff eventually led to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. But once she fired once she fired Brad Holmes and Matt Patricia, she started to gain my confidence back, and now she has it 100%. Well, shout out to Clemmy on Twitter. She follows me, I follow her, and she actually posted the open letter to fans, to season ticket holders, and here's what she had to say. I'm going to read it in its entirety. It says, "What a season. As I told our staff last week, I'm so proud of this team. Our coaches, our amazing fans, and everyone throughout the state of Michigan that supported us this season during our playoff run. To see the Honolulu Blue Wave that swelled throughout the season and playoffs, specifically in San Francisco, was inspiring and humbling. And thanks to you guys, I was there. I know our players felt it on the field, and I can tell you directly that I felt it. Every Jared Goff and Let's Go Lions chant that echoed throughout Ford Field and visiting stadiums was amazing. Since I was a young girl, I have loved this team and have carried immense pride in being a Lions fan. Today, that pride is overflowing. When I stepped into this role 3 years ago, I had a vision for sustained success. The success of this season is what that vision looked like. Now we must go about making late January football a constant in Detroit. With the help of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, who we have selected for this mission, The future for the Detroit Lions has never looked brighter. I said in January of 21 that we had found the right people to lead this organization, and I believe it even more today. The harsh reality of success is that you don't necessarily see it in the end coming, and it hits you hard when it arrives. We are living that now, but please don't let that dampen the excitement we felt and the success we earned. Only one team gets to celebrate at the end of the year, and our goal is to put ourselves in a position for that to be our celebration. As Dan told our players, what we did this year wasn't easy. Next year won't be any easier, but I know our investment to this point and our plan going forward will help us live up to our standard. That standard is only achievable with all of us working together. And this is going to be continued on another page. Just give me 1 second as I pull that page up. Okay. It was just one more section. Okay, here we go. She continues. Please accept a personal thank you from myself and my family for supporting us throughout this season. Thank you for wearing your Lions colors proudly at work, at school, at Ford Field, and in 10 other NFL stadiums. Without you at our games, at watch parties, or watching in your living room, nothing we do matters. This league has always been about players and fans, and I am so proud of the players and fans that represent the Lions. Training camp starts in about 175 days. I can't wait. Go Lions. Humbly, Sheila Hamp. That's fantastic. 175 days. The season begins in about 220 or so. So that's when training camp begins at the end of July. And I have deduced that the season will start September 12th, 2024. This right here. One thing I can say about Sheila is from the moment she took over, she's always been transparent. She's always been real. And I think that, as a matter of fact, I know that she, being part of the Ford organization, being part of the Ford family, she inherited the sins of her father, the sins of her mother, so to speak, by taking over this team. And she has in every way earned the respect that we should give to her. And like I said, I was the SOL captain. Like you're talking about, remember the movie Captain Phillips? And the dude was like, I am the captain now. I am the captain now. I was that dude commandeering the ship and was like, I am the captain. If you were the SOL captain, I came and I commandeered that because I didn't want to hear anything that anybody had to say. I was appalled when the COVID year came and people were sending in, paying money to get cardboard cutouts in the stadium of them. I refused to support an organization like the Detroit Lions at the time. They did not seem like they cared about winning. And at this point, we're coming off firing Jim Caldwell, and everyone who had a brain knew that Matt Patricia was not going to work. And I remember, like I said, to start this video off, when we fired Jim Caldwell, I was livid. And it comes around and she sends the open letter to fans. We were coming off a 3-12-1 season. We had Matthew Stafford got hurt. We had like 20-something people injured reserve. And I just was like, we've heard this all before. I did not want to hear it. I did not believe anything about it. And I remember we had lost so many games that the Ford organization was going to gift David Blau an F-150 if he was able to win a game for the Detroit Lions. Never happened. We went on a streak of losses that continued over into the 2020 NFL season. We finally get a win when we beat the Arizona Cardinals. Matt Prater walk-off field goal. It was like week 3 or 4, and that snapped a 13-game losing streak. When she fired Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn as a tandem, that was the beginning of my trust in her. Then she brings on Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. I didn't know much about either one of these guys. Then the kneecap speech, he had me at kneecaps. He had me at on the way up. He really did. And while I am, and I have had, outside of that initial open letter to fans, I have not had any negative thing to say about Sheila. Sheila has taken this team from sell the team, bags over our head, to being Super Bowl contenders in the time that she's taken over. And to be real with you, I wasn't sure any Ford was capable of doing that. I never wanted them to sell the team because selling the team means most likely that it could leave. That new owner could just pack up and leave the Detroit area, and now we're the new Cleveland Browns or something like that. And I would be sick to death if Detroit didn't have a team. And that was one of the things that selling the team could have led to. So, Sheila Hamp, you have my appreciation, because I did not believe in you 4 years ago, because you were one of the ones that fired Jim Caldwell. You were one of the ones that let Matt Patricia take this team over. And I genuinely believe that that is a mistake. And she realizes that. She knew that very early on from the way the players talked about. And just think about this now. The access that we have and the way that the Detroit Lions organization is run. I want to tell y'all something. When Matt Patricia, when Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes were hired in 2021, okay? I'll never forget this. This number is ingrained in my head. The Detroit Lions YouTube channel had 19,000 subscribers, had been around for years, had 19,000 subscribers. Right now, it has over 170,000, and it has more subscribers than several other NFL YouTube channels. One in particular is the Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. We have more subscribers on our YouTube channel than they do. That is a testament to Sheila Hamp, the organization, the leadership at the top, and what this team has done. Has taken over their airwaves, right? Went from no primetime games in 2022. We've battled our way into one. We show up and show out. We then are awarded the first game of the season, and everybody was mocking the committee for making that happen. And we show up and show out. And that led us to almost bookending the season the way it began. So Sheila Hamp, I appreciate you. I say thank you for getting rid of SOL, for getting rid of sell the team. Now, if you say sell the team, you probably get slapped. Real talk. So anyway, just wanted to say thank you for watching the channel, subscribing to the YouTube channel. I'm currently working on memberships. I'm going to probably launch those in the next week or two, just trying to make sure I take my time with the perks, the pricing and things like that, and want to be able, one thing about memberships is you want to add to what you already have. You never want to take away anything. And I want to be sure that I can commit to every perk that I award or that I put into place. So I want to make sure I can do that. And also, I think that was it. I think that was it. So thank you for watching the channel. Thank you you guys know how I am, very emotional. I want nothing else for this team to win. And like I said, to start this video off, I am going to become a season ticket holder eventually when I have the money to make sure that I can get on the waiting list. And then whenever that happens, I'll probably start off in the 3s and then I'll move up, as the years and stuff progress. And then what I'm thinking about doing too is I'll use some of those tickets as giveaways, like the games that I either can't go to or won't go to or for whatever reason, then I'll use those tickets as giveaways as well. So anyway, thank you, Detroit Lions. It didn't end the way we wanted it to. I myself would have been happy with a Super Bowl appearance. I mean, had we made it to the Super Bowl and lost the Super Bowl the way we lost the conference championship, I would have been devastated. Either way it goes, nobody wants to lose, and it would have been tough. But making the Super Bowl, I would have been okay with that because we come off the graphic. We would have been, just think about it. We almost undid everything in a single year, every single narrative, we almost undid it. The only two things left is there are 12 teams that have never won a Super Bowl and 4 teams that have never gone. And we would have got off that graphic and it would have just been the Browns, the Texans, and the Jaguars. And then we would have been one of the 12. We could have become that team and got off 2 lists in one game. So anyway, That's my thoughts, man. Let me know yours in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.